right. You guys are good.
All right. Well, good evening and welcome to this week's edition of CSC Sports Reporters. My name is Aaliyah Brennan and I'll be your moderator tonight. I am joined by my fellow colleagues and we will be discussing issues that we have handpicked in the sporting world. I'll just start and introduce my topic. I will be discussing if it is effective to have a coach of an opposite gender.
I'm Shelby Gardner, and I'll be talking about should steroids be legal and the health issues and all the other good stuff that comes with that.
I'm Cody Davis, and I'm going to be talking about are parents getting too involved in youth sports in today's world.
I'm Jake Roble, and I'll be talking about how the NCAA just recently banned satellite camps and whether that was a good idea or not.
All right, well, I guess we can just start right into it with Shelby's debate.
Yeah, so when I first picked this topic, I looked at it and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm kind of ashamed to say that I might say yes. Like, I might say steroids should be legal. It would take out, all this stuff about should baseball players that use steroids in the Hall of Fame. And then I got to looking at it and I was like, yeah, you're dumb. There's a lot of, for one point, there's a lot of really bad health things that can go with taking steroids. Kidney failure, liver failure, it doesn't really affect the brain as an addiction, but it does slow down other stuff with that. And I just don't think that it is a good idea to ruin your body. I get it's your choice, but I don't think it is a smart choice. I mean, that's just my opinion. Another reason is you're kind of given, if steroids were to ever become legal, you're kind of given a rite of passage to an athlete. Okay, well, since all these athletes are doing it, we might as well just make it legal. And I don't think that they should have a right over anybody else. That's just my personal opinion. I think everybody works hard for what they do, and so to give a rite of passage just for an athlete, I know that's kind of a big thing, especially in colleges. Like, should athletes have special privileges? But that's a whole other thing. A little point I found when I was looking up that topic was 4 out of 10 teenagers say steroids. They use steroids because pro athletes or collegiate athletes use them. And I just think that's really sad. I mean, athletes are role models, whether you like it or not, and people look up to them. And so if you're going to give this right to them, you're just asking the youth to go along with it, and I don't think it'll ever change. And the last thing was it will open a new door for even worse steroids to come. If they're going to say, okay, yeah, this is legal, great, let's make something even more potent, even more damaging to athletes' health. And so I just think my thought is no. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. I think that the problem is the image that professional athletes have on everybody that's not in sports or that's trying to reach that goal. Like, I always go back to this topic, like, people are like, why does it matter to you? You're like, don't you want to see the best athletes compete? And I'd rather just see the overall God-gifted talent. I would rather see that than what somebody could do on steroids. And plus, I always think about it this way. When I have kids and they get into sports, I don't want them to think that they have to take steroids to become the best athlete they possibly can. So I think it's important that we keep steroids out of sports and all, just the health risk and everything.
I don't think we should encourage the athletes to take harmful drugs just to perform better. I think that they're already great athletes. We should just see what they can do without taking any drugs, just by hard work.
I agree too. I think that, like, as an athlete, your body is your greatest asset. And there are so many harmful effects that come along with steroids. And they're not prominent right away, but, further on in the future, maybe after the athlete is retired and done, they can have serious consequences to deal with that.
Yeah, I think it would be a big regret for a lot of athletes. And I think what Cody said, like, I'd rather see somebody with, a good work ethic and God-given talent, working their butt off than somebody who just, got there using other ways, some say cheating.
Yeah, they're probably still like working hard, of course, but there's always that deeper advantage to that. So are parents getting too involved in sports? I think they are, especially lately. I was researching the topic, and the number of incidents of physical violence and verbal abuse at youth competitions are increasing 15% according to the National Alliance of Youth Sports. 15%, and I'm just like, that's crazy. There's people that yell at coaches, coaches are yelling at parents, parents are yelling at each other, parents are even yelling at their own kids. It's just crazy to think that they can go to a sporting event and show their kids basically that it's okay to yell at someone and disrespect someone. It's just kind of get out of hand. Yes, like of course, like you care about your kid and how they do, but you should also, it's youth sports. It's not professional sports. It's not like high school. It's like when they're so young. This is an important important step in their life to get them physically active is sports. And some of these parents are just ruining it for their kids because they're just constantly just battling them to do better and everything. So it mostly just comes down to a win at all cost mentality. I know people that like bribe their kids, like if you win, I'll buy you a new car. If you do this, I'll buy you that's what if they don't do that? They're just gonna be so disappointed, and disappointment will just lead kids to like quitting sports. And sports are just extremely important for today's age, as you can see, like the obesity rate in the United States and anywhere across the anywhere. It's crazy. And sports are important, and parents are pushing kids away. And it's important to be there and support them, but there's also just a limit to where you support your kids. The most important thing is parents just pushing kids away from sports. So I think it's an issue. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's a very fine line. Like, I go to my brother's sporting events and I see parents like throwing their kid up against the wall yelling, like, you didn't do that. And they're like not even 10 years old. And I'm like, seriously, like this is what it's come to. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, yes, you are there to support your athlete and or your child, and you have to be a cheerleader for them, whether you want to or not. Like, it's not about you as a parent in a youth sport. It's about your child.
I definitely agree. It's a really fine line. Like you want to be supportive, you want to drive the practices, you want to get all the games, but you don't want to get to the point where you're like screaming at coaches. But yeah, I think that some parents, kind of unknowingly create a very stressful sporting environment in their home because they place so much emphasis on winning and success in sports because maybe they're kind of living through their own kids. I think they have to put their pride on the back burner and let their kids.
Yeah, and I saw a stat recently that there's 45 million kids that play youth sports, and by the time they're in high school, 80% of them quit. So the majority of kids, there's probably a lot of great athletes that just didn't want to participate anymore because they either got cut from a team when they were like 6 years old or something like that. I think that things can get more competitive as you get older. There should be more competitive leagues, but when they're really young, they shouldn't have their parents pushing them to be that competitive when they're just little kids.
I agree. The topic we went over in class a few weeks ago about participation trophies. I don't think the participation trophies are for the kids. I think it's for the parents so they can be proud. And that's wrong. Like it shouldn't be for them. It should be all for the kids. Like of course you should be proud, but like they're just doing it more for themselves than for their kids, and that's wrong. Let them. You gotta support them. You gotta be proud of them. You gotta motivate them, and just encourage them to keep on going. And I think they're just getting too involved, and yelling and stuff's not gonna help the problem. Like maybe talk them what they can do better or what they can do to not mess up or to not do a miscue. Like there's multiple ways to take it a different direction to support them rather than just yelling at them or yelling at another parent or a coach or something. So I think there's multiple different ways that they can handle it. There's nothing wrong with supporting your kid, but just don't push them away from sports because that's a great way for them to get physically active in society today.
And it's sad that like parents, it has to go to physical violence for parents to realize, okay, I might be a little too into this and this is not about me, but I just wish they would stop.
Yeah, I think a lot of parents live vicariously through their kids and they just take it a little bit too serious. I mean, they can take it serious, but they just push the limit a little bit sometimes.
Anything else, Ben?
All right, my topic is satellite camps, and for you guys who don't know what satellite camps they are, when like say a D1 program like Michigan or Ohio State, they take their coaching staff to like Florida and host a camp there at see if they want to recruit them. And at those camps, some of the satellite camps, there can be coaches from up to 35 different schools. So it gives the kids a lot of opportunities to get seen by a lot of different coaches. And the NCAA just voted within the past month to not allow satellite camps anymore because some coaches don't want a coach coming in from Michigan coming down to Florida and stealing some of their athletes. They think that's bad, so they just took a vote. All the Power 5 conferences, the Pac-12, Big 12, all those SEC, they just voted and they decided to ban them. And I think that hurts a lot of college athletes' chances to get recruited because at most of those camps, you're most likely not going to get recruited by like the big school like Florida State or Ohio State or something, but you have a good chance of getting recruited by a D2 school or a D1 AA team. It just makes it not a lot, or getting rid of satellite camps makes it a lot harder for high school kids to get recruited by colleges.
I think it just comes down to the laziness of the recruiters. Like if they don't want people like to come, like they want people in the area to stay like out, you know, like it's most about like territories. I wasn't too familiar with the topic before this discussion, but like it's just what's wrong with somebody like going to somewhere else and just trying to get a greater opportunity to go play across the nation? I think that'd be sweet to like, do something that would rather just stay in the same spot like your whole life. So it's weird that they do that, but I think it kind of takes the fun out of recruiting. I feel like it'd be cool to go across the nation and recruit some of the cool like the best athletes. So I think it'll get changed soon. I don't think it'll stick.
Yeah, I think it hurts the colleges, but I think it hurts the kids almost, worse, just because a lot of those kids, even if they aren't prospective athletes, they're still getting to see people that they look up to. And it's so exciting for them to be like, oh, this college is coming to our school to host a day camp. And if you even look into satellite camps for youth, like some parents can't afford to take their kid to, a big college like Ohio State, but if they come here for a day camp like that makes a kid's day. Like it's just all about seeing them happy.
Yeah, I agree. I think it makes, when they take away satellite camps, it makes it more expensive for recruits to gain exposure, having to travel around the country and going to these large schools. But it also takes away exposure not from the athletes, but the school as well. I mean, maybe they get a great experience or go to a campus or something and they still decide to go to school there as an athlete. But I think it just takes away a lot of exposure.
Yeah, and the big reason that they just decided to ban him recently was because Jim Harbaugh, he just was hired as coach for Michigan right before last football season, and he kind of just went a step above what most coaches were doing in terms of satellite camps. Like he had like a 9-day trip through like basically the heart of where the SEC is, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and he was hosting like 7 different camps at 7 different schools. And I think a lot of the coaches from down there, like Nick Saban, they were kind of worried that, oh, he's coming in here, he's doing all this heavy recruiting in our areas of recruiting and taking away the athletes. And another thing is the ACC and the SEC has a rule, and just in their conference before this, that the coaches weren't allowed to leave a 50-mile radius of their campus. So these coaches were already not allowed to go to camps, and this just, I guess this makes it more even for them. But, I mean, you can still go recruit, but you just can't go host a camp, like in California, if you're an SEC coach before this. But now it makes it even for like the Big 10 and the Big 12. Because the Big 10, like Nebraska and Michigan, they were the ones that used these the most because there's more athletes in like California, Texas, and the southern part of the United States. So that was a big part of their recruiting. So it kind of hurts those college teams more than like the SEC.
Yeah, it'll definitely take away from, Big Ten conference for sure.
Yeah,
People, not being able to go anywhere, you can't see athletes, they can't show interest in you. I just don't think that's very good.
All right, anything else to add on that? So I was just wondering if, like, you know, seeing how many males we have, would it, I mean, it is a possibility today to see a female coaching pro sports. There is Becky Hammond, who's working with the San Antonio Spurs, Nancy Lieberman, who's working with the Sacramento Kings, and Jen Walter, who helped out with the Arizona Cardinals in coaching, you know, the male pro sports. But I was just wondering what you guys thought about that.
I think gender doesn't define you as a coach. I think knowledge and strategy, coaching strategies make you a great coach. And I guess people have different opinions of what coach genders they like, but if they have knowledge and if they know what they're doing, why not? Like, I think it's cool that one of the big ones, I'm big with the NFL, so I seen that the Cardinals got help on the defensive side with that. I don't know, what's
Jen
it?
Walter.
Jen Walter, yeah. Like, people say like she doesn't play the sport, like she doesn't know like how it is on the field. But like if she like does the work off, like studies knowledge and is able to help in a way, like why not? Why she can put her knowledge to use and help more than some people can. So.
And there was an argument that I read that, you know, it doesn't matter if you played sport at a high level. You know, you might not be a great coach. An example is Isaiah Thomas, who was one of the greatest players in NBA history, isn't regarded as a great coach, but a guy by the name of Rick Majerus wasn't even good enough to play college basketball, but he had a 25-year career and had an over 700% winning percentage. So I guess that doesn't matter.
I just think that women are just a lot less likely to become, I don't think there's very many women that are trying to enter the field of being a football coach compared to guys or being a wrestling coach or something like that. I think there's just not, this is probably just because of the way our society's set up, but there's just not a lot of women that are interested in that. I mean, I might be being stereotyped, but I think that's the reason that there's not a lot of women coaches. I think that they're capable of it if they want to do it, but I just think that there's probably not a lot of women football coaches, and it's definitely probably not a lot of elite coaches that are good enough to be coaches in the NFL. So that's a pretty hard thing to do.
I agree with Cody. Like, I think if you know it, and you should go for it. I just think there's certain boundaries. I mean, you see a lot today where there are a lot of boundaries pushed. If there was a female coach being alone with a male athlete or vice versa, I mean, there's a lot of that happens. Even here, around here, you see if you have a male coach and they're alone with a female, I mean, it raises a lot of questions. And I think that if you can keep those boundaries and you can stay within that, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry,
No,
but
it's fine.
probably the greatest women's college basketball coach ever is Gino Auriemma for UConn, and he's a male and he can coach females.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Okay. I was just wondering if like respect is a huge factor with it. 'Cause I read an article about a female football coach and interviewing some of her players, and they said she might not have like the most intimidating demeanor on, like she's shorter than all of her players, but everyone listened when she talked because they knew she knew what she was talking about. So she does believe that respect is a pretty big issue.
It's probably all of it, really, to be honest.
You can gain respect though.
Yeah.
Like you can gain the trust and respect of athletes, and that's a huge part of coaching. And I think any gender can do that. So yeah, it definitely is possible.
Yeah.
I think that go back to the like females not being able to coach. I definitely stuff, but like there's some coaches, you get some of the greatest coaches that's never played the sport either. So it's kind of just like what's kind of the difference in that, you know? I don't know which coaches. I wish I would have looked it up before this. But
I just think if for a college, like football team, if there was a girl coach, I think she'd have to be really confident. If she came in there and kind of was stuttering and didn't really seem like super confident in what she was doing, then I think she would lose respect from the players quicker. But I think if she yelled at you for not running or knew what she was doing as soon as first day of practice, I think you'd have the same amount of respect for a women coach as the male. I think it'd just be a little tougher, or it'd be easier to lose the respect from the players.
It's a lot easier to
to do our closing remarks.
So yeah, like I said, I don't think steroids should be legalized. I think it is way too damaging to health. I just think that players should, grind and work hard and get what they want and not have to have something come.
Cody, sorry.
I think the parents should step back a little bit in youth sports, actually quite a bit. I think they should let kids enjoy sports and have some fun while they're young, and so they can continue to participate in sports, get that physical activity, and just love the game and not be so pressured to impress their parents. But I think parents just need to step back and it'll be okay.
In terms of the satellite camp, I think that the NCAA should overturn the ruling that they just voted on. I think it hurts the high school athletes more than it helps the schools that think that players are getting recruited from their area. They're taking away the opportunity that a lot of kids have to get a scholarship to go to school. A lot of athletes getting a D2 scholarship or NAIA or D1AA, that's their only opportunity to go to college, and taking away the satellite camps greatly decreases their opportunity to get a scholarship.
Right, and as for mine, I think that no matter male or female, coaching is about, being an effective communicator and being a respected leader. And I think getting to know your athletes is more important. Any questions? Okay, well, if we have nothing else to add, that's it for this week's